Okay. Okay, here's a good example of that. Yeah.
This is where they're putting in the waterways and stuff and the terraces. So they had some big equipment out there. Back in them days, it was big equipment. Today, it's toys. This is a trench that they were putting in the tile lines and stuff. I can't recognize anybody on there. I thought I seen Reinhard Butcher one time, but I'm not sure. I thought that was Reinhard, but Reinhard never smoked a pipe that I can remember. They had a couple different machines that they were using for trenching. I think that's probably more of a type of machine that they use. Now they're laying them tiles in there, and there's nothing joining them together. Each tile is just butted up against the other so that the water can seep in. This guy is just putting a little bit of dirt around them to hold them in place before they really start pushing the dirt in on them.
Was that considered marsh or swamp, or was it just because of the spring floods?
Just this was all just spring flooding, and there's a hard pan out there about 3 feet down. There was a hard pan, and so the water, it would always be. We'd always figure that we'd be a week or two behind on planting, and people were in a little softer, sandier soil. But when it came where it got real hot and dry, theirs would dry up and we'd still be able to get crops and stuff. Now, I don't know what these guys were actually spraying, if they were bushes that they put in and they were spraying some kind of a fertilizer or something on them, or if they were kind of killing them. I don't know what, but they were out there really spraying at them. So, and here's some lime that they brought in, and I don't know. I know Reinhard Butcher used to spread lime, and I don't know, there'll be here's a truck, I don't know if that was his truck or who was doing the actual spreading of it. But
hey, will you stop and back that up just a minute? I want to, there's a car back in there, and I couldn't figure out what kind of car it was.
Before or after?
It's be a little later now.
A little later?
Go ahead a little bit.
That's after the spraying.
Okay, gotta go forward. Right there, it looks like it's either a Ford or a Chevy.
You get up a little closer.
There.
What is it?
You can't see the front wheel, so it'd be a Nash.
Yeah, looks like an Nash.
Is it a Nash?
Yeah.
Okay. They hadn't been making them very long, had they? That was a relatively new car.
This is, in the background was a creamery there, so this is where they're bringing the watershed way down into the creek. There they had a little footbridge going across. Here's some of the hats that them guys were wearing back in them days. This was the emergency tent that they had, and here's one of the food stands or the county farm bureau stand. For the amount of people that were there, well, here, this is the queen contest here now, and One was Mary Ann Bendel. She was 17 years old and she was from Athens, Wisconsin. And this is at the banquet. Stop it there.
Oh, sorry. We're in the transition.
I think this is Mrs. Webster.
Oh, yeah.
Just back a little bit.
You didn't want it there anymore?
Back it up just a little bit.
It's easier said than done.
Okay, and I'll go forward. I think it was right after that. I think it's going to be the next. These were dignitaries. That was Graf right there. Okay, that's right there. This here was my dad. This is Pretzel. I think that's Henry Lukey. Not sure, and I think that could have been Herb Zane, but I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell.
Was this on the grounds where they had the banquet?
No, at the.
No, this was held up in Eau Claire.
Oh.
At the armory.
Yeah.
Now, who served the food then? I don't know.
Okay.
You had mentioned the green of the suits. What's the green even on the table? You know, there are some green shirts around too. Is it
Yeah.
John Deere green or?
This is Mitchell here. He was giving it, and that was Webster, I think. There's your queen.
The winner.
Who was that Webster woman? Did she have something to do with the schools?
Yes. Yeah.
Jenny.
Jenny Webster.
Was
She
it?
was county superintendent.
Okay. The county superintendent of schools seemed to have enormous power, because I remember when she came to visit our elementary school, we were told she was coming, and if we made a false move, we were dead.
This right here is Herb Zank's farm. Now it's the Mass Food Market. There's the old schoolhouse.
There's the old school.
That's where Lee Troxel lived.
Yeah.
But you can pick out the make of some of those cars too.
Yep. And here's Herb Zank's barn.
Massive.
You see a lot of 49, 50,
Yeah.
51, 52s in there. This is one of the patrolmen that sending the cars in, and the Boy Scouts are going to park them. Passing out the programs. Here's your airplane strip.
I'd be scared to land.
Did you know anyone around here?
Looks a little bit rough. This was the Coila Langworthy house there. That one house. Here's Cliffy Von Hayden right here.
With his sister.
Yeah, and it's-
And I'm not sure who this little one is. He's pulling.
Brother.
Was he just a little or something?
But that's the only people that I can really pick out. I did pick out Reiner Butcher in one place.
I just saw a Milwaukee Braves cap, and that was the first year they were in Milwaukee.
Do you know Tiffany? She would be.
But these cars that were in here, they were probably people that were working in the stands and taking care of the tents and all the machinery and stuff. So And here they're lining up for their plowing match.
They're just starting out.
Yeah. There was a lot of them, here's your hats. I mean, it's just about everybody had hats on. The tractors and stuff, a lot of them, now you see there's a sign on that tractor. A lot of them had their names of their state or something on them. There was a few of them that didn't, but
Did you?
And sometimes you had a judge follow right along behind you, keeping track of what you did.
Yeah. As you notice, it looked like he had a tape, and I suppose he was measuring depth. And of course, on them plows, some had triple clutches and some had hydraulic to lift the plow in and out.
They use 3 water blows, could use 3 on the national,
I think you could,
one just went by.
yeah.
there's Mr. Benson.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is part of the service or if this was Boy Scouts. Hey,
There's Willard Ham.
yeah, Willard Ham, he was the county ag.
Yeah.
Well, I think Governor Calder made a comment at the banquet. He said he was going to make sure he sent a whole bunch of cheese back to Washington with Benson.
This is a tractor that they had, that they raised, made a stand on it so that they could drive around so they could be able to be seen or they could see. Kohler and Benson. There's an old police car there, or an ambulance or something with a siren on the top. This is a hill that runs back, it'd be just north of where Carol Poise lives. Carol and Bob, that hillside, that's where they were all lining up to watch the contest. There definitely was a lot of people there. She was getting a little bit dusty. For you on that one, Doug, or Duke?
I can't see me. It seems like I'd remember if I was waving at a camera. But I forgot that I saw the Queen contest too, or contestants.
You were kind of young then, you wasn't interested in women then.
I should have been though, I'm 16. That's awful when you can remember Benson but not the Queen contestants. Oh, this
This was a plow that they had that they flip-flop it. So they could plow and turn right around and flip the plow over and go back the other way, and they wouldn't have to have all the dead throws and stuff.
Oh, that's clever.
Apparently it didn't turn out too good because they ain't using too many. Here's your band. So this, we figure, has got to be from Eau Claire.
Well, it must be the Augusta band, I am sure.
I don't believe there's that many tubas. Well, this is the stage that they had in Benson, and going to get up and give his speech. That area right there is about 40 acres. It's pretty well covered, all of it. Okay, stop it. Okay, now these are participants and farmers, local farmers and stuff that are in the contest here. That I think most of them are. I think most of them are farmers there. And they got their wives up there.
Well, it looks like my grandparents, right, from the right side, but she's got a dark dress and she's shorter than him. Yeah, right there. Melvin, no.
I think that's Lukey there. I'm not sure. I think that's her saying. That's Avery Markham. That's got to be Coyle Langworthy, I believe. Or maybe this one. Kind of hard to tell.
Yeah.
There's Reinhard Butcher. Here is Homer and Jethro.
isn't that a pretty shade of green?
And these are the farmers here that are coming down off the stage. Yeah. Avery and Walter. So here they are performing. Well, one of my classmates, he said that the only reason why he came was just for Homer and Jethro.
Do you know who was the MC?
No, I don't. It was probably somebody from the TV or the radio station.
I saw Lulabelle and Scotty on Friday.
This is our queen, and that was Mary Ann. Got her name or something.
You notice there were several different radio station mics there, and I know one of them was WCCO, and Cedric Adams was there. And, you know, if you remember, Cedric Adams, at least to my mother, he was God.
The queen was 17 years old.
You'd think I would have remembered that, but I don't.
I love that it's so windy. He has to hold the crown on her head.
Well, this has got to be the guys that won the contest. The state contour plowing contest was won by Lawrence S. Kern, and he was from Barnesville, Iowa. The national champion for the contour plowing was R.C. Cummings. He was from Lewiston, Ohio. And the level land was Graham Stewart from Plainfield, Illinois.
Do you remember? You remember how much money they got?
I believe it was like $50.
Yeah, it was 50 and 100, I think was it.
It wasn't. I mean, probably back then that was quite a bit, but today it'd be like nickels.
But you had to pay to haul your tractor and plow from wherever you came from.
Yeah. And here Benson is going down the line talking to some of the participants and shaking all of their hands and stuff. So. Those are the two main winners right there.
Yeah.
Here's our queen. And after the contest was all over with and everything, there was lots of paper, a lot of litter, and I'm not sure if it was Boy Scouts or organizations or something that came in and cleaned up, but whoever did it, they did a wonderful job.
How'd they clean up the toilet areas?
I would imagine that they just filled them in,
Oh, okay.
and the corn and grain would really grow.
Where you had that top crop.
This is Guthrie, I think. He was a big